If you like the Food Network, you're going to love this next episode of our podcast because Chef Jordan, who just recently won Chopped and the Supermarket Steakhouse off Food Network, she's the new executive chef of Oak Steakhouse right here in Nashville where we're standing, and has graciously donated some of her time to come out and let us do a podcast with her, get to know her a little bit. She's very limited on time, so this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but she was gracious enough to let us come do it. And now, on to the show. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you very much. And we have a very fun show for you all today. I am excited about this one. We've been working on this one for a while. Thank you, Chef Jordan, for coming in. But we have food royalty in the house, the Chopped champion. We got, the Supermarket Stakeout winner, the beef queen herself, her Broil Highness, Chef Jordan. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Oh, yeah, thank you for doing this with us. Yeah, this is cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. And you letting us do this in your steakhouse is pretty awesome. So, by the way, we're in the Oak Steakhouse, everybody. If you haven't been here, you need to come check this out. This is very nice. Very, very nice. So, and, it's funny. When we originally started, Abby and I were going back and forth, and just the initial conversation, I was like, it's the Oak Steakhouse. This is like the premier steakhouse in Nashville. How are they going to up it? And then Chef Jordan, I went, oh, that's how they up it. Okay. All right. So welcome to Steakhouse. Oak Steakhouse. Yeah. So how long you been here now?
3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
How you liking it?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have a great team, and, we just launched a new menu, so we're, improving on things, like really, stepping up what we can do, and
awesome.
The team's loving it.
Yeah, I want to get into that because they gave me a heads up on some of the menu items. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to kind of back it up, Terry, a little bit. I want to get to know about Chef Jordan. So about you. So you were born in the Sunshine State, right?
Yes,
down in Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah, cooking with mom and grandma in the kitchen?
My mom, my grandpa, I grew up. It was in my blood. I was born on Thanksgiving, so I was like, it must be meant to be that I was in the kitchen.
I got it. So have you just always loved to cook?
Yeah, ever since I was a little kid and I could reach the counter. I have pictures where I have no front teeth and I'm in the kitchen with my grandpa, with my mom, and it's just it always brought us together. Yeah. So I just always have had a passion for food, and the meals that my parents would cook just stuck with me.
What's one that sticks out in your mind?
My mom always made spaghetti, so I love pastas, any kind of pasta.
That's right, you're Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We run together. Us Italians, that's right. So any type of pasta?
I love pasta.
But you love pasta, but you're known as the beef queen.
Yes.
The Broil Highness.
Yeah.
So what led to the love of steak?
Well, when I moved to Nashville, I got a job at Kane Prime, and I started as a broiler cook, and I got to break down all the steaks and really learn about the different types. We did a lot of Wagyu, we did a lot of prime, and just learning all the difference between how they feed them, how they finish them, what the different cuts are. Yeah. And as I continue to grow, you just learn about all the farmers and all the hard work that goes into just receiving a piece of steak.
Yeah.
And it's just really eye-opening. Yeah. And all the things you could do with beef is just exciting to me. I rock the broiler, so
there you go. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, for those that don't know, because I've heard this many times, like Wagyu beef, for example. What goes into that makes it because generally it's more expensive. And so what goes into it for that process?
So it's normally what they feed them and what they're bred with. So you have F1, F2, F3, F4, and so on. And it's they start out with a black Angus, and then they breed them with, the Wagyu, and then you have your F1. And then you do the F1 with the Wagyu, you get F2. So you have American Wagyu and you have Japanese Wagyu, and the marbling just goes from 1 to 12, and it's just insane. From what they feed them, I mean, it's like loyalty. They're they always say they massage them, and but
no way. Yeah, they're massaging a cow.
But I mean the marbleization is what's very appetizing. We'll run A5 here, and it's just you can let it sit out and it'll just start to melt, and the fat is very bright. I mean, it's super marbled, and it's beautiful.
Nice. Okay, I didn't realize it went generations deep as far. So literally, the steak you might be eating could be 4 generations of meat. Wow.
Yeah, and they butcher them pretty young, but the whole breeding process, and it's sort of when we're using certified Angus beef now. So to grade them to be the certified Angus beef, it's a huge process. So it's a black Angus farm, and people are oh, well, where do you get your beef from? And it's there so many different farms out there that will be certified Angus beef. So it's not just one. It's just the grading of that cow when it comes to the production.
Okay. I need to eat some more Wagyu. It sounds like that's awesome.
Yeah.
But so you went to the Culinary Institute of America,
Yes.
right? And then you graduated from that. And then what was your first job out of that?
My first job out of that was when I moved here. I worked at Circa in Thompson Station.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah. And then I was there for about a year, and then I ventured out. I was at like Firefly Grill in Green Hills.
Gotcha.
And then I was at Kane. I went to Kane, and I was there for 6.5 years.
Dang.
Yeah, I started as a broiler cook, and
Okay.
then went all the way up to like senior management of culinary operations.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're really young, so that's very impressive, by the way. So that's really, I mean, you're whopping 22 years old. This is great. But,
I wish.
right, don't we all? I promise on that one. But I was curious. I always wondered, like, with these high-end steakhouses, like, is there like a testing process? Like, when it comes in to be lead chef, executive chef, do they like, I always picture like the firing squad of people like lined up with you with a grill and you have to like cook for them. How does it work?
So, I mean, to be a chef, like you have to come in, we'll do like a lot of interviews, you know, and they ask you a lot of questions like about your background, you know, where you've worked. And then it's all about like, we do what we call a stage. So you come in and you work with the team. And you see like how you work, like for my stage here, like they threw me on the grill and you know,
3 to the lions.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then you do a tasting. So like you come in and they'll be like, hey, I need you to make like an appetizer, an entree, a dessert. And my tasting was pretty cool here because I just came in and just like used what they had here and then made, you know.
Nice. That's cool. Okay. Just improvise right there on the spot.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I guess, I mean, seeing you're the chopped champion. I mean, like, I'm sure that helps, right?
Yeah.
No, because they already know, like, you can cook some amazing food.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. So, you said Kane Prime. You worked any other restaurants down here?
Down here? No. I mean, when I was with M Street, because they had like a lot of different restaurants.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was at Kane. I worked at all of them, like Moto. I worked at Virago. Did a couple.
Oh, do you
of
just go
casual-
around? Is that
yeah,
what
but Kane was
okay.
like my baby. Like that's where I, you know, where I learned the most.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, like I took some time off and I went down to Destin, and I was working at Party Foul for a little bit.
Dude, Party Foul. Love their hot chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, because they opened one in Destin.
Yeah,
so the
awesome.
chef that I worked at Circa,
Yeah.
he's over Party Foul.
Okay.
So I went down there and just like hang out with them for a year, and then came back to Nashville.
Nice. Very cool. And now you're executive chef,
Yeah.
Oak Steakhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know if it gets any better than that. That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, heck yeah, cool. Well, like I said, we're going to get into some of the menu items here in a little bit because I'm curious on that. I know you got quite a few items. Do they just like say, come on in, mix it up? Like, how does that work? Change it up on the menu?
For this menu, there's only a couple things that have to stay on.
Okay.
Our Oysters Rockefeller and our Oak Steakhouse. Those are the staples to every Oak. Everything else is up to, you know, us chefs. Like, so me and my sous chef, Ryan, like, we're just like, what do we want to add? Like, what do we want to make us be different from all the other steakhouses?
Yeah.
Everyone always laughs because I love using, like, tallow, which like we break down all our steaks, so we render it out, and we use it in everything. We use it in the candy pecans. Like we use it to like make aiolis for our burgers. We use it to like dip our steaks in. Like I'm about to do a dessert with it, but we just like brainstorm. Like we have a little Asian, we have a little Italian, we have you know. A lot of things that keep people excited, and also we want to focus on not just meat eaters, but like the vegetarians too. So like I challenge them. I'm like, what can we do to, you know, entice everyone to come here?
Yeah,
like
that's cool, especially, you know, being known as a steakhouse. But no, we cater to everybody.
Yep,
that's cool. Okay, so you just go back there and just start messing around, basically.
We'll go. Me and my sous chef will go back there and we'll just be like, hey, like, what are we thinking? We just get a piece of paper and we just jot it down, like, and then we just test it out. And I mean, me and Ryan, like, we'll just go back and forth with each other. And I'm like, this is great, and he's like, oh, this is great, and you know, that's how we came up with it.
Nice. Well, if you ever need a taste tester, I am down anytime.
Okay.
That's not, you just let me know. I can put down some food, let me tell you. So we can do that. But, you know, it was, obviously you have a pretty sophisticated palate, but I wanted to throw out some questions for you on a few things. So let's see what you think. So, well, for being the beef queen, just in your personal preference, the filet or New York strip?
New York strip.
Wrong, prime rib. No, I'm just kidding. I love me some prime rib. There you go. But no, these are just some funny ones. I just want to see how you answer these. So if you had to give up cheese or chocolate in general, which one would you give up?
Cheese.
Cheese? You're a chocolate fan? You like sweets? Okay. You know, I don't know which one I do on that one. I got a sweet tooth from hell, let me tell you. So that'd be rough. So, all right, if you had If you had to, I had someone help me with these questions, so excuse me. If you had to eat every meal with ketchup or mayo?
Ketchup.
One? Ketchup?
I don't like mayo.
Oh, well, okay. What is it with putting ketchup on a steak?
I don't. That's like.
Why
No.
do people do that?
I don't know.
know.
They're like, I want my steak well done with a side of ketchup.
No, hell no. God.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, right? Jeez. Yeah, no. There's another one. Rare or rare or well done? Which one would you rather live with?
Rare.
Rare? Yeah, okay, there you go. All right. I figured you'd say that, but still. Yeah, I never understood. I worked at a steakhouse many, many, many years ago. And yeah, ketchup on a steak.
Yeah.
No. I admit I might have been a little bit of a snob with some A1 here and there.
Not even that. That's like
Yeah.
stabbing to the heart.
You're like, no stop. Is that like an insult to the chef if you do that for a steak?
I mean, yeah.
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 Well, I've had plenty of steaks where they don't need anything. So that's,
I mean, and some of them do, but if they're cooked correctly, I think.
Well, what about if you put like some Boursin cheese or like melted blue cheese or sauteed mushrooms or something on it? Does that go with it?
It can, yeah.
Okay. Depending?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Here's another one. Okay, so if you had to eat pizza for breakfast every morning or pancakes for dinner every night for the rest of your life?
Probably pizza for breakfast.
Pizza? Yeah, high five. Yes. I'm a pizza fanatic, yes. But these questions, I swear. If you had to give up sugar or salt, which one would you give up?
Sugar.
Sugar? Really? You a salty fan?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you pastas and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, all right, cool. This one. I'd have a tough one with this one. Well, these next two, actually. Soda or candy? Which one would you give up?
Soda.
Soda?
Yeah.
Okay, I could do that. But okay, now this would be the toughest one for me. Cake or ice cream? If you had to give one up.
Ooh, that is tough.
Yeah.
Probably cake.
Cake? Ah, nice. Okay, good deal. That's probably the way I would go. Me and ice cream. I could just bathe in ice cream. Just put it all over me. Awesome. So, but anyways, okay. I was just curious on the palate question. We were having some fun with that. But so we got some new menu items. And so, talk me through some of those. We got here. Oh, the roasted bone marrow dish. What's that?
So we use the femur bones of the cow.
Yeah.
We soak them in like a mixture of milk, salt, and water to remove the impurity. So when they roast them, they're white and beautiful.
Yeah.
So we roast them with some garlic, some bread, some Alden salt, and like an herb salad.
Yeah.
So you like scrape the bone marrow out and then put it on some toast with roasted garlic.
Dang.
It's amazing.
Oh. Man, that sounds good. You make me hungry.
Yes.
Oh, and you got a wasabi crusted tuna tataki.
Yeah. So we get some
good.
wasabi peas, which are actually really cool. They're like green peas with like wasabi crust, and we pulse them so they're like bright green. And then we just like sear the tuna so it's still like raw.
Yeah.
And then we make a yuzu ponzu. So yuzu is like a Japanese citrus. It's like a lemon, lime, and orange together. So it's very like citrusy, sweet, and then we do like some wasabi pearls or no wasabi puree in it. So
yeah, I gotcha. So these are your new menu items, right? You came up with these? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, and you got I heard all about this pork chop.
Oh yes.
Tell me about the pork chop.
So the pork chop is actually Ryan's.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do a sweet potato mash, and then he makes a fig mostardo. So we get black figs.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much like candied alcohol.
Yeah.
So it's like bourbon, mustard, the figs, and some sugar.
Yeah.
And you just like boil them. We puree them, and it's really sweet. But our pork chops, we have. They almost look like ribeye, so the bones aren't French, so they're massive, and we just bake them or grill them, and then so it's salty, sweet.
Yeah. How do you not just sit back there and eat all day? That sounds fantastic.
Actually, it's pretty funny because like as a chef, like you don't eat, like you'll eat like once a day, like you'll pick at stuff, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it one of those things where like you do this all day, so you don't necessarily want to do it?
Or you just you're just so busy, Our go-to meal, and we always laugh is we eat butter sandwiches, like. We get bread with some butter and like
hey, whatever works. Got some sugar, some carbs. We good. We need some energy. Okay.
Time for a butter sandwich break.
Okay. Next time I'm down here, I'm going to pop in with some butter sandwiches for you guys. And that's awesome. So, okay. Well, on that note, I'm just curious. So, like, if you're end of the day, you're done cooking, you head home. What is your guilty pleasure meal at home? What do you do? Or actually, how about this? As a Bush beer fan. If you go home and have a good beer, what's a good meal to have a good Bush with? Bush beer.
I don't know how you know that, but
we did our research. It's all right.
I like popcorn. Like,
okay, there you go.
I don't really cook much at home at night.
Yeah.
Like I'll literally like I love eating like the lesser evil, like popcorn. So I'll just like get a bag.
Yeah,
like,
I gotcha. Are you just sitting there with Dolly eating popcorn? Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
I love Dolly, by the way. I saw a picture of Dolly. I was like, oh, the bearded dragon. Yeah. Right? I had one of those when I was little. But yours is huge. Dolly's huge. How old is she?
She's actually going to be 4 this year.
Is she? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I saw a picture of you holding her. I was like, dang, that's cool. All right. Yeah. But she can't eat popcorn, right?
No,
they,
she can't.
They eat grubs.
She eats like crickets, and she's better than me. She eats collards, strawberries. Like.
There you go. And you eat popcorn.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, good deal. Well, on what as far as the menu goes, sorry, I got off track there a little bit. As far as the menu goes, you got any more new items coming that we don't know about? Or?
So we're working on a new lamb dish. We want to switch from the lamb racks to a lamb shank. Mm-hmm. We're working on revamping our dessert menu. Yeah. So, adding different bread pudding, probably some pumpkin desserts. And we're probably going to switch the fish up a little bit. We're running like snapper right now. We're thinking of doing like a bronzino. Okay. And I'm trying to get some like different cuts of steaks in here. Yeah. So
awesome. Okay. Well, as the beef queen, if the beef queen was out of the picture, what would be the next? You just seafood, or what's your next go-to?
Probably pasta.
Pasta. Oh, you did say that earlier. Yeah. Okay, yeah, pasta. Okay. Yeah. Going back to the roots, the Italian roots. Nice.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna run a gnocchi dish here. Like that's like I love rolling gnocchi. It's like my
Nice, very cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of beef queen, I gotta. So you got a tattoo on your arm.
Yes, I do.
Let's talk about the cow.
Yes.
What is that? That's all the parts of the cow, right?
Yep. So when I was on Chopped, they named me the beef queen. So I had to get it's got a crown and it says beef queen.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that's where that one came from. Beef queen came from Chopped. Mm-hmm. Okay. What about the Broil Highness?
The Broil Highness. So when I was at Kane, I would work the broiler by myself, and I would do like 500 covers. And
oh my God!
They would be like, whenever I would work it, they call me the Broil Highness, and they even brought me like a crown to wear because I would work it so well. Like I wouldn't have like bump ups or recooked. I just like push the steaks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they're like, when we would go to line up, they'd be like, "Oh, he's working the broiler tonight," and they're like, "You're Broil Highness." So
that's awesome.
It just stuck,
Yeah. They got a nickname for you here yet?
No.
Just executive chef.
Yeah, they'll call me like Beef Queen or Chef Jordan or I gotcha. Yeah,
I'm curious as we talked about the Chop. How did you get on Chop? Is that like an application thing? You got to submit a video? What's that work?
So back when it was like 2.5 years ago, I was gonna be on Guys Grocery Games, but then COVID happened. So then it got postponed, and then they reached out to me they're like, "Hey, you want to be on Chopped?" And I was like, yeah, of course.
Of course,
so, it was actually filmed in Knoxville, so it worked out. Like I just went over there, but they just reached out to me, and same with the other one, the supermarket Stakeout. They just emailed me, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to be on?"
That's cool.
This one. So it's like,
How did life change for you after when you won?
It was exciting. Like a lot of people would come in and like want to take their picture with me, and I would go places and they'd be like, "Where do you I know you from somewhere?" And I'm not one of these people who like talks about it. Like if I first like meeting you, like I don't really say much.
Like yes, I want Chopped. Thank you. Yes.
But even going to like the grocery store, people are like, "Oh, I've seen you on Chopped." Like, and I'm like, "Yeah," like. But it was, it's exciting.
Humble.
Yeah, okay. I'm very humble.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, it's gotten you quite far. We'll say that. So that's cool. If you could, I'm just curious. I like to ask this one. If you could look back on your younger self, growing up with cooking and everything, knowing what you know now, what's advice you would give yourself?
Just to never give up and keep pushing yourself. Like I feel like as a chef, I always go back to like being a woman. Like it's a male industry, so like getting into it, they're like, "Oh, you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna make it." Okay. And I just push myself. And
well, how's that feel coming into Nashville and just sucker punching the male industry and being executive?
It feels great because like all those people like that I worked with that would like hold me back or like would think that I couldn't do it, and now I'm like, well, look at me now.
Yeah, like screw you guys. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I've heard and we researched when we come in, and I've heard nothing but good things about your food and everything. So I'm actually dying to come back down here and eat. And
you need to.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I know my better half. Hi, Jen. I know she's watching, but she when I mentioned we were coming here, she's like, "We got to go eat and try it." I was like, "Yes." So, but awesome. So cool. Well, I know you are very, very busy, and I really appreciate you taking the time because you said your chef's on vacation and you're coming out here. So thank you for this. Appreciate it. But just curious on Oak Steakhouse, like you talked about the new menu, and you had something else with you said pasta. Yeah. And then what's beyond that? Like if you had, Would it be fish? Seafood?
Yes, seafood.
Okay, I got you. Okay. What's your favorite fish food?
Well, I would say I'm not a huge don't judge me. I'm not a huge seafood eater.
No.
Yeah,
Okay. You don't like a surf and turf?
I mean, it depends. I'll eat shrimp. I'll like a white fish, like
Okay.
snapper's good, grouper's good, sea bass is good, but like oysters and stuff,
Yeah.
like it's an acquired taste. Like I can do like the smaller ones, like the cushies or the kumamotos, because they taste like very melony. Like
I got you.
But I don't let that like stop me. Like I still will cook it, will taste it, will make sure that it's great. But I love. Like we're working on like revamping our raw bar, so we do like a whole raw section, like in that case over there.
Yeah.
So we have lobster tails, we do crab legs, we do shrimp cocktails. So we want to like take it to the next level, like maybe add a pokey, maybe add some caviar. Like what can we do to step it up a little bit?
Now I got to come test that out because I was actually born in Alaska, so Alaskan king crab and crab legs. I'm kind of a crab leg snob, so I have to try those out. You got some good crab claws and everything. I'll try that out.
We do. We have the big king crab legs. Like we even put them on a steak too. You can get a king crab Oscar.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, that sounds. Oh, you're speaking my language, so all this fun. Now I have one more question for you on this one. This was I can't believe we were asking this one, but if you could take in the physical form of one of your meals, the true definition of food porn, what would that dish be?
Well, it would
to look at and to eat.
To look at and to eat. Mm-hmm. Well, it would definitely be a steak.
Okay.
I would sous vide it in beef fat.
Okay.
So it's like super beefy.
Yeah.
And then I'd make probably a steak sauce with like pink peppercorn. I'm all into like the molecular gastronomy too. So like making like pearls and like cool jellies.
Yeah.
So I'd make it look like something that you weren't expecting, but it would bring it like, like back to a memory.
Yeah,
so like steak and potato is like a classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would be like, how can I make a steak and potato dish?
Yeah.
Without you looking at it thinking it's steak and potato.
Yeah.
So I'd probably do like some potato puree, like some red wine pearls, a steak sauce, and some pink peppercorns with some herbs on top.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you make that when I come back? And we try that sounds like Chef Jordan said. She's gonna make that sounds fantastic. Yeah. My gosh. So if you were not a chef, what would you be?
Well,
is that even a question now? Because you've been doing it your whole life.
Yeah, I have been. When I was actually in high school, like I did culinary all through high school.
Okay.
So down in Florida, like they had like the Pro Start program in my school. But when I was working as a kid, like I was a lifeguard.
Okay.
And I actually went to school to be a nurse. And,
no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And coming out of high school, because I was like, I really like lifeguarding. Like, I love it. Like, let me go to school to be a nurse. And then I was like, started. And I was like, man, I can't see myself doing this. Like,
no
I went back to, to be no nurse.
Yeah.
So I was like, I went back to like what I am passionate about.
Yeah.
Like, and it's always been cooking. So I don't know what I would do if I didn't have,
well,
if I wasn't a chef.
If you weren't a chef, You had mentioned earlier about like creating, or when you're creating a meal and you want to draw on somebody's emotions or like create a memory.
Yeah.
How much of that goes into when you're creating something, like with your own personal taste?
I mean, it's everything for me. Yeah. Like I feel like food is like it makes memories. It can make a bad day turn into a great one. Like so it's all about like the passion of what you put into your food.
Yeah.
Like it's not always about like what I like. It's about like what I feel like the people would like.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a dish that brings them back to somebody that's passed away, or maybe they had something and this is the dish that they have that marked like a marriage or an anniversary or a birthday. I think for me, like being in the restaurant, like, and our kitchen is open, so you can see people's reaction when they eat.
Yeah.
Like we put a cauliflower dish on the menu, and it's a whole head. So like when you drop the cauliflower off to the table, the people's reaction, they're like, like, and that's just exciting to see. Like I always tell like people like watch everyone's reaction when they eat the food, and that's like is most satisfying about it.
Yeah. I got you. I know I've always said two things are great for memories and evoke emotions. You got food and music. Yeah. So you pair them together. So yeah, do you jam into music back there when you food prep? Mm-hmm. Like, have you ever seen The Rain? That song?
Yeah.
You like that song?
We live into a little bit of everything.
I got you.
My sous chef likes the oldies, and I like,
Yeah, is it Struggle Jennings, right? And, okay. Yeah. Somebody told me to mention that for you. I said you like that song.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. Well, moving on for Oak Steakhouse, we talked about the menu and everything. You got any other things going on here that you're gonna, other than the menu, obviously, that you're gonna roll out, or?
I mean, right now, like I said, we're focusing on menu innovation.
Okay.
Thanksgiving's coming up, so
Yes, okay.
we're getting ready to prepare for that.
Are you open for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we're
are?
open from 12 to 8.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, you hear that, folks? They're open for Thanksgiving. We always get that question all the time.
Yeah.
Who's open for Thanksgiving? So,
Yeah.
Oak Steakhouse.
We're pretty excited about our menu for that. So we'll be doing like a Thanksgiving pre-selection plus like a limited menu. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. You do anything for Christmas? Or is that too far?
That's too far.
Too far? Okay. I don't know if they're open for Christmas Eve or anything like that. Well,
I'm not 100%.
100%?
But
update coming on that one, folks.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, no problem. All right, cool. Well, I see everybody back there prepping, doing their thing, so I know you got to go. But I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And meeting with us. This is so cool. We got food royalty in the house over here. This is great. And I'm definitely coming back. We're going to try some of this stuff.
Yeah, definitely let me know.
Yeah, definitely. Are you do you work Monday through Friday, weekends? Like
I usually am off Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Okay. So Friday or Saturday would be my day anyway. So,
yeah.
All right. So I can walk back there and be like, Chef Jordan, I'm here. No,
yeah, just wave like, Chef.
Like, right. Oh, no, I wouldn't want to interrupt you. No,
we love it. We love the attention. Yeah.
Oh, do you? Okay.
When people wave at us, we'll be like, hey. Like,
okay. All right, cool. We can do that. That's not a problem. I know, because I want to try. You got this big wine wall over here.
Yeah, we have lots of wine.
Yeah.
Lots of awesome steaks. So.
Yeah, that's right. The red wine with steak and all. It's that's above my head. I can't. Random fact: I'm actually allergic to hops. I can't drink beer, so I don't really drink much.
Yeah.
And so wine and stuff, I don't know how to pair things, and so I'm totally lost. May have to come get your help on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how to pair any of that stuff together. But cool. Well, again, thank you for your time.
Yes,
really
thank
appreciate
you.
it. And if anybody wants more info on Oak Steakhouse, on you, wherever, how can they find it?
They can. I have Instagram, the Broiler Queen.
Yeah, there you go.
And I mean, they can reach out. Just
all right.
Shoot me a message. And,
cool.
Or if they want to come in and dine, just be like, hey, Chef.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll link all that in the description so people can find that for you. And then, there you go. So come on down to Oak Steakhouse if you haven't tried this yet. This place is phenomenal. I mean, you can just tell by the ambiance here. This is amazing. So, but there we go. I'll leave you alone so you can get back to it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and everybody for tuning in. Thank you all for watching as always. We appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.